What a week for your lot, though. I mean,
It
it was
was
a big win at Bournemouth, but then for City to fail to win at Sunderland and then fail to win a home game against Chelsea. I mean, goodness me.
I'm still not going to get carried away, Jeff. I mean, they've got a lovely little gap now, 6 points, but that could be turned around very, very quickly. I'll go back to 98 when I was playing, and we was 12 points behind Manchester United. Games in hand, a couple of games in hand, but we managed to turn that around. So I guess it can be done. But at the moment, Arsenal going well. Another massive game at Thursday against Liverpool at home. I know Liverpool, they'd be disappointed, yes, conceding that last.
They didn't
minute
deserve
goal.
to win the game, though.
No, they didn't. I think
really
Fulham done well enough to at least get a draw. But again, when Liverpool come to town, they really, there's a little bit of rivalry between Arsenal and Liverpool anyway. So that should be a cracking game. But again, so much football. I can't get my head around all the football. It's unbelievable. You're thinking, oh, that was brilliant over the last few days. Then we've got today off, and bang, West Ham v Nottingham Forest, which is a massive game tomorrow. A huge game for both sides. And if West Ham lose that one, it's looking really bad for the Hammers.
It is my only issue. I just think 4 games, 2 o'clock on Sunday, for example. I mean, what do you watch? What do you watch? You can't watch them all. It's impossible, you know?
Yeah.
So you end up flicking between them, and then you miss a goal, so you flick back to the game where there's just been a goal.
You miss another one.
No,
it's not ideal, but that's the TV. That's TV for you.
With the Arsenal, I mean, they weren't the best at Bournemouth, but that didn't matter. And Declan Rice has rightly come in for a lot of praise. But what I think is one of the biggest things for Arsenal at the moment is the re-emergence of Martin Odegaard.
Definitely. The second half against Aston Villa, I go back to that game at the Emirates, and I thought he was excellent. He was always on the ball. He put that little ball through Zubamendi to score. And when he's on his game, he always wants the ball. He's always in positions to receive the ball in tight areas. He can get himself out of a tight area as well. He's got such a good football mind. And, that little... To be fair, Gyökeres done really well for the second goal because he took 4 defenders away. That gave that little space on the edge of the box, and that's where Declan Rice moved into it. But Odegaard saw that little pass, and it's just the weight of the pass as well, Jeff, because he knows now Rice can hit it first time. If you hit it a little bit harder, you might have to have a touch, and then suddenly you might lose the opportunity. So all them little details, that's why you score goals and good goals. And Declan Rice stepped up, scored 2 good goals. But Odegaard's such an important player as well. I know people said about skipper, Declan Rice should be skipper this, but he does so much behind the scenes as well, training-wise and the youngsters. So I think he's a perfect candidate at the moment, and he's got to keep stepping up. He's got to keep playing well because he's got people. Eze's not even featured.
I know.
The
bench, the last 3 games didn't need to bring off the bench. It just
showed you.
That was a big. What a contrast to Man City, who effectively yesterday they only had Doku as an attacking option on the bench. Just before we move on, got a text which was really from Carl in Margate. Morning, Carl. He said, "Morning, guys. Quick question for you. Do you think Reece James is the nicest man in football?" And I assume that comes after he led Callum McFarlane across to the crowd to take his bow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Arm around him. Yeah. I thought it was absolutely.
Do you know what? He had a really good game as well. Yeah. I thought he was excellent, Reece James, in midfield.
I think he's one of the best players in the
he was
right up there with the very best.
And it was great for the, to get that result right at the last minute. You could see the jubilation on the Chelsea bench. He can't believe it. Pep Guardiola's face was like a picture, but the Chelsea bench, that when Fernandes scored, was unbelievable. He couldn't believe it. He's just come to the Etihad. I think last week it was under 21s, wasn't he?
Yeah,
coaching under 21s. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
Well, it wasn't just the Chelsea bench. You couldn't believe what they'd seen when Enzo Fernandez
jumped up
in the 94th minute. Yeah. Needless to say, Pep was unhappy with how his side conceded.
Listen, everybody has that. I know that. I have another opinion. Of course, when they could not play in the way they played in the half-time because not even past the halfway, and of course they make more aggressive, more there, and they play good in the process and in these kind of situations. But the first 2 action was because we lost 2 balls, easy passes, and they could run. But the rest was really good, and of course in that position we have the ball and we control, and talent players like we could run, and at the end we didn't find the last pass and the last moment to finish the game. So that was simple as that.
I mean, I honestly, I didn't see it coming at half time, to be honest.
No, I thought Man City were very good.
Yeah.
You know, where they played, and it's just that final pass, maybe, and final delivery of the goal, but wasn't up to standards. But the midfield play was very good. Why they got into positions, and I thought it was only going to be one winner, if I'm being honest, Man City. But sometimes you've got to see games out a little bit better. I mean, Arsenal have done this as well. Sometimes put it in the corner, push up as a team, and get a throw in and waste another minute, and then kick it out again, waste another minute, and that's how you got to win games.
Yeah.
And that's why they'd be disappointed, Man City, because they come so close.
They're too dependent on Haaland. Because when Haaland look, he hasn't scored in his last 3. He scored 5 in his last 9 league games.
When he hit the post, though, that was...
but I just think... If you look at the Arsenal goal scorers recently, against Bournemouth, 2 for Rice, 1 for Gabriel. Against Villa, 1 for Zubamendi, 1 for Trossard, 1 for Gabriel Jesus. Against Brighton, Martin Odegaard, 6 different scorers in 3 games.
It's a bonus.
Comes from everywhere. Yep. Whereas with City, they are pretty... Phil Foden's some. But apart from that, they're so reliant on the big fella.
Good point, really. I mean, but he does score goals for fun. We all know that, Haaland. But if he does have a little barren spell, then you do need other players to step up and score goals. But Arsenal in recent weeks, all the eyes have been on Gyökeres. Can he get that goal? Can he score? Can he do this? But they're still winning games of football with other people scoring. So, I think Arteta's doing the right thing with him, because you've got to protect your players, and you've got to say, look, he's doing everything for the club at the moment. All he needs is a goal, which he does. But it is a bit of a worry that he's not scoring.
I just mentioned this once because we won't have time later on. But watching that Bournemouth-Arsenal game, what was going on? And I mention this because I've got a text from Chris from Bournemouth who says Arsenal are always going to win against teams like Bournemouth, especially when the referee's wearing an Arsenal shirt. Small exaggeration. Chris is from Bournemouth. What was going on when Bournemouth are about to put the ball back into the box and the referee blows the final whistle? I mean, that doesn't happen ever. And Arsenal have been taking an eternity, as was their right, an eternity over every set play, every throw-in, every free kick.
I totally agree.
I've never seen the whistle blown in that situation.
I can see why everybody was crowding the ref at the end, saying, well, wait a minute, let us put the ball in the box once more. Yeah. We might have one more opportunity. And if we do miss a target, goes out for the goal kick, then you blow up.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally agree.
Exactly.
I totally agree. He should have carried on, and they should have at least had one more opportunity.
Yeah.